Okay. Happy Monday, everybody. We will be having a good friend of mine, Michael Hinderliter, on today. And this is the first time that we'll be adding somebody on, so I don't know exactly how to do that yet. So I'm going to wait. Let's see if I can find them. Just bear with me. There we go. Cool. Just send that to Michael, so he should be jumping on. I hope everyone's having a great start today. There you are. Michael, it's not letting me invite you. Are you on your phone? If you are, you might have to turn it sideways. If not, we might have to go off and try this again, because I don't know. But happy Monday. Hope everybody, what's up, Joe? Hope everyone had a good weekend. Just got back yesterday, got that 6.5 mile run in. Went to the gym this morning. Oh yeah, you gotta jump on your phone, Michael. See if you can do that real quick. And yeah, it's Monday. It's first day, second quarter of the year. So hopefully everybody's off to a good start. And has got some really good goals set for the quarter. And hopefully they were able to crush their first quarter goals. Today I was going to talk about high-level hiring that you can be doing in your company. Hopefully we get Michael on here in a second. We'll talk about his most recent hire and my most recent hire with our general manager. Again, I am not an expert. This is just me trying to push through a 30-day Facebook Live challenge to talk about my experiences and nothing more than what I have experienced. So I'm not a doctor, not a psychologist, there we go. There we go. We got Michael on. There he is. There he is.
There we go.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, how's it going?
It's good, man.
Sorry, I'm gonna mess with the camera just a little bit here, try to get this thing set up.
All right, we're learning this together.
Can you hear me okay?
Oh yeah, loud and clear.
All right. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna jump off. I'll be right back.
All right.
Okay, sorry about that.
No problem. All right, so now that we know that we can get Michael on here, we'll talk about executive hires, GMs, CEOs, CFOs, things like that, what you want to look for, and the process. I know we just got done hiring our general manager, and it was a very long process. I got a good friend, John. He's in the process of hiring somebody as well, too. And the one thing that we looked for when we were hiring our general manager is understanding our growth and where we're trying to grow, too. And we didn't want to, it's one position we felt we didn't want to hire within because of how far we're trying to grow with the company. And it was something we wanted to be able to hire outside with somebody that's already had that growth. Let me see if I can invite him again. So as we were at, a $1.8 million company last year, we wanted to get to $6 million in the next couple of years. We wanted to hire somebody that already had that experience in a different company. So it was important for us to find somebody that had that. And it took a lot of time. A lot of things we had to look for was somebody that fit within our company culture. Our company culture is very important to us and within our core values. All right, hold on. Michael's coming back on. So that when we did the interviewing process, they had to align with those core values and be able to have the experience to get us to our growth. So when we hired Rob, it was a four interviews we had to do for that. There he is. Welcome back.
All right. Sorry about that. Let me get that out of the way.
How's it going, buddy?
Good. How are you doing?
Doing good, man. We're just talking about hiring, and we both just had a pretty high level hire, and talking about the process, what I did and what we're looking for with that person. And I know you had powerwash.com. You had that recent hire as well.
Yeah. I did. It was he's been with me a little over a year now. Got him in December, hired a CEO in December of 2021. Yes. And then he worked all of 2022. Yeah, and it's made some great progress, and we're still on the same path for making a lot of great progress now.
Yeah, and I'm sure that had to be the easiest hire you've ever had, right? Because you just went
Well,
on Facebook and found them right away.
well, uh, and a lot of people don't know this, but I struggled with PowerWash.com from the day I got it. There were years where it did okay and it kind of broke even, maybe made a little bit, but most of the time I was putting money into it and investing and trying to get it to another plateau or another place where it would get to where I envisioned it. It could actually be a good profitable entity. But now, I mean, last year we did good, and we're on a good path this year, and a lot of it had to do with, I guess, kind of me getting out of the way and not being so in the weeds all the time, and could think more top level, and bringing a CEO that could do the same, and could bring a good culture to the company and bring experience to the company that I didn't have.
Yeah, absolutely. And for those of you that don't know Michael Hinderliter, shame on you, but we have the Dean of Clean here at PowerWash.com coming in from Texas. And, I've been watching and following you for years, and the things you've been doing for the community has been phenomenal. I mean, you've been a staple in the community for years. One of probably the most experienced ones that I know out there. So good on you. And I know you have, well, now I'm staring at your desk. Power Wash U, right?
Sorry about that. The camera fell over, and I was trying to get rid of all that light in the back, creating all that haze.
You got what is it? Power Wash you got over there, right?
Yes. Stay.
Yeah, and we've been registered for that for years, and we love implementing that with all our new hires. And I think you have some new stuff you're coming out with here in the near future too.
Yeah. We're working to constantly improve it and make it better. We've got some new programs we're planning on launching here pretty soon. So it's all always a work in progress.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's all it is, though. I mean, you started it, and working to execute to make it a better program for other companies and new hires. And we can always constantly improve on everything, but you at least started it. So now that people at least have a baseline to have a resource for when they hire new employees, which is phenomenal. And I love it. And like I said, we still utilize it in our company for the last 3 to 4 years, I believe.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I'm glad you do. Yeah. No, I appreciate everybody who does. It's we put a lot of work into it, and there's definitely some programs in there that are that we spent hours and hours on, and there's others that were just it was a presentation that we did, and we threw it up there to give people benefit for it too. So there's a good mix of content that we put on the website to share with those in the industry, and to basically reduce the learning curve for those that want to do power washing, or get a basic, or we got I say power washing. We have power wash equipment on there, so you get a real good understanding of how the equipment works, not just cold water, but hot water and all the accessories that go with it. And then we did an exchange with PWNA's program, so we have all the PWNA safety content on there. And we also have roof wash and house wash on there. We have wooden deck restoration. And we have some kitchen exhaust videos on there as well. And can't say what all we're fixing to get ready to launch, but we got more stuff coming. That's for sure.
Yeah, and it's it's kind of like the trains that I've been doing out there lately, and I like to tell everybody that it's enough to get you excited, but not enough to make you dangerous. And it just gives you a good baseline of the basic principles. Like, we have the house washing and the roof washing course from your program, and it just gives the guys a basic understanding of what they will be what they'll be experiencing once they get out of the field. So it's good to get them in there. get them hired, onboarded, then put them in front of the computer, have them go through that. So then once they get out in the field, they're like, oh yeah, I understand that. That was in the video that we just watched, instead of just going out there and being completely blind and just have no knowledge of anything. So it's perfect to, start the training and the hiring process for new employees, or even it's even good for old ones too. I just want to get them through a recourse, a refresh. So I'm excited to see what you're going to be coming out with here in the near future with that, because I'm sure it'll be better than anything that I have right now, which is nothing. So yeah, even though we all say we're going to do it, execution we always tend to lack on.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, is that if you're going to do it good and try to and create quality, it takes a lot of time and energy that goes into it. And people underestimate, the shooting of the video and then the editing of the video that goes along with it. Now, if you want to do something in-house, that may not be that big a deal. You could just go out there and shoot some quick videos and load it up into an LMS like Talent LMS or something like that. I mean, sometimes that's a perfect fix, and it's very customized when you do that for your own company. We try to do things that are that will work for everybody. So we think about the safety issues and doing things with the safety at the same time when we're creating it, and just the overall atmosphere. And we try to, we know there's, in some of the videos, we get a little corny with some jokes and stuff to kind of liven it up. We keep short videos in there, so you don't got a guy sitting down and watching 30 minutes to an hour of constant video, and they're going to zone out. So we change it up. We do things like that, and we've gone back to those that have watched it, and they've made some recommendations that we're going to do in the future stuff. So all cool stuff. I'm excited to get going with it again. But
good. I'm excited to see what you got coming out, and look forward to hearing about the launch of that. So thanks for sharing info about that. And what we'll do is we'll get a link in this below once we get off, and then this way people can go over there, because some people might not even know about it, and take a look at it. Very affordable, and like I said, we've been using it for years now, and just something that doesn't change. I mean, we might change the techniques, the way we do cleaning, or the chemicals and the process, but the overall fundamentals of everything has been pretty consistent for the last 10 years.
Yeah, it has. Very much so. And then, but I know that we started off, you want to talk about the hiring of the CEO and that process and how we found him and things like that, right?
Yeah. Sorry, I got squirrel brain. I got excited and started thinking about education. Yeah.
Yeah, I know this is your first one. I'm honored to be on the first one too, by the way. Thank you.
Too. When I saw the name, I was like, you know what? No better first guest than you. And I appreciate you, signing up for that and being the first victim, if you will.
Yeah. So I've done some lives before, and when I started with the Wash Talk Wednesdays, they were live, and so getting the courage up to do those is really jumping out of your comfort zone. So I commend you for doing that.
Thank you.
And the more you do it, the easier it gets.
It's a little easier with you on here right now. I tell you, the first day, I'm not even kidding, it took me 30 minutes to go ahead and push that button. Yesterday was a little bit easier, and today I felt like, I'm like, all right, I got Michael coming on, so I'm good. And I've got every day this week somebody signed up, so that's good. That's good. I was pretty blown away with how many people jumped on the opportunity to do this with me. So thank you for everybody who has signed up. If you haven't yet, there's still plenty of opportunities for the rest of the month. But let's get back to one question we had below. Joe had asked how often we do safety training, and we implement our safety training every Tuesday. We do it first thing in the morning. It's documented. It's either in person, out in the field, or watching a video. And it could be as simple as how to use a fire extinguisher, ladder safety training, understanding chemicals and things like that. But we understand the importance of safety, and so we just want to make sure that we're holding our guys accountable. So we do it once a week. So good question, Joe. But yeah, back to the hiring. And you said you've had, I forget his name again. I just met him too.
Christopher?
Yeah, Christopher. Yeah, wonderful guy. It was a pleasure meeting him, a couple weeks ago, and really enjoyed getting out and having lunch with him too. So.
Yeah. So I hired a GM / CEO for the kitchen or the truck washing too, just recently. But part of what I looked at is where you're wanting to take the company before you hire this person. And then you look at the skill set of somebody who has experience doing that. So if there's someone that's growing a service company, like most people that are watching this are going to be power washing contractors. So I'll kind of stay in that spectrum. So you'd probably want to look for somebody who's experienced in the service industry, and it could be the trades like plumbing or HVAC. It could be lawn care, but they didn't. And if you want to say grow other locations, then you want to see somebody who's had experience doing that. They took a company from one location to 3, 4, or 5, or 6, whatever it is, and then that's the person you really want to be looking for. And then you want to look at your company and decide, okay, are we good with systems and training? And if you are, then you don't need somebody with particularly that skill set, and maybe you're not so good in the marketing side. So you want to look for someone who has a little more marketing experience. Maybe that's not your forte, or maybe it's the reverse. So that's kind of how I looked at it when I went about it. And in particular for powerwash.com, I wanted somebody who had, more experience with the internet side of things and understanding how online marketing and digital media work. More so there than I did somebody who just knew how to grow a distribution company.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Because this is not like a sales technician role where you could spend a little bit of time on and get the training into them. This is one of those positions where you need somebody coming in with that skill set that's already had the experience and knowledge, like you said, because I needed, like for me, I need somebody to teach me how to do the things that we're trying to do. I can't sit there and try and do the research, test it out, see if it works, and make the mistake. So it was important for us to hire somebody that's already had that experience getting out there, growing from 4 million, 5 million, 6 million, whatever it is, in the multiple locations. So, and it came at a high cost, of course, because we want to try and save money and try and get somebody at a lower salary, but really you're sacrificing your time and energy by doing that, because you're not going to get that skill set or the experience from the person you need by doing that.
Yeah. So, and I think you're at this stage too with your companies, and that is you're bringing in the right people to run the divisions and to run the company, so that there's all this talk, as you grow as a power washing contractor, that you're on the truck. So you're the technician out there washing and doing things. And then you go from being on the truck to being off the truck. And being off the truck is a big move. And I remember that move and how terrifying it was not to be out there seeing the work and making sure it got the quality that I wanted to get done, and that my customers weren't going to be calling me upset because the guys weren't doing it. And also the fear I had of my customers not seeing me on the job site and thinking that I didn't care.
Right.
That always worried me too. So once you get through all that, it's a development process, and it's a learning curve. And then, so now when I say me and you are kind of at the same space, we're in a spot where we're learning how to get out of the office. So now we're not in the building all the time anymore. And that's another big move with bringing in the right management staff and leadership that can implement what you want to do, where we get to sit more in a visionary role, and now you got that integrator there to help fulfill and make sure your processes and things are followed. So that's a whole new space for me to jump into, because I'm trying to make it by the end of this month that I'll be officing out of the home instead of being up here in one of these 2 buildings. And then I'll just visit every so often and sit down and meet with my managers and staff and come up here and do give everybody the hoorah and appreciate what they're doing and go from there. But it's definitely palm sweaty opportunity and push me outside the comfort zone, not being able to be here. Because like when I first started the office and running my office and being off the truck, I read a book, and the book was called Tight Ships Don't Sink. Don't go read it. It's not that important. But what's important is he talked about being in an open office environment to where you could like hear and watch everything. I was like, man, because I always thought about, you know, specific offices and having that status where you don't have to be around everybody. So I grew, and I was able to process it. Not everybody can, but I could work and listen to what was going into the office all the time. Like I could hear what was going on. I would jump in and I would correct people real quick. That's good and bad, because now everybody's just like, well, what's Mike going to say? What's Mike going to do? Because you got your thumb on it so much. So there is a point to where you need to have a private office to get away from there. So that's part of the growth. But that's the thing I'm saying is that now that I do have a private office now, but once I get to where I'm out of here, I'm not even going to be in the building anymore.
Right.
So you got to have all the KPIs in place so you can watch that. And that's one of the things, and I think you'll agree too, that the Conquer program has helped with, you know, helping people understand their KPIs and deciding what numbers you need to watch. And we're doing a lot of that with powerwash.com now. And they're kind of changing for us often too, because different things happen and you see things that you don't normally see without those KPIs, and they keep you on track. Really, really, really important.
Yeah, you brought up one really great discussion point right there, and I think a lot of us suffer this, and especially early on, is that not really micromanaging, but you hear a conversation and you want to jump in there and give what you feel is the best answer, and then what you're doing is you're not empowering your team because they're like, well, what's he going to say? Or if I do this, it's going to be the wrong answer, and is he going to correct me on that? So by allowing them to do those things, it empowers them to feel more confident and build trust in themselves as a team, and they can make those decisions without you, because you don't want them asking you for every single question for every little daily task or, you know, things like that. You want them to be able to work through it as a team, as an individual, so that they're more confident on their own, and they get more creative too, because if it's always, you know, JC's way and that's the only way, then that's the only thing we ever do, and we can never change things to adapt over time. But if they're the ones doing it and they're actually in the field, answering the calls, you know, going through the systems, and like, wait, we could do this thing better, and come up with that great idea on their own, and it works, and then we do it, like, that's just gold, because then they get excited and then they're looking for the next best thing to be able to present to you, instead of just be like, JC's probably going to say no, so let's just not do this. So by stepping away and letting them do these things and make the mistakes, and obviously you don't want to make big mistakes, but mistakes do happen over time, and we can learn from it and train to it. You're empowering your team to be more successful. So that's real important. And I remember many times where I'd hear that one thing, I'm like, it's not how I want to do it, but let's just roll with it and see what happens. So.
Yeah, no, it's, you want them to problem solve. And when you're solving problems for them, you become the bottleneck.
Yep.
And I learned that the hard way.
Yeah, I did too, many times, multiple times. All right, so I got Joe on here. He's got another question. How many employees do you have? I know you got 3 different companies, so.
Yeah. We just did, so we're right around 75 employees right now. At one time, we were right around 100 employees, but COVID kind of knocked us back. We're coming back a lot stronger than we were. So I'm happy about that. But that's where we're at right now. But I got the powerwash.com domain because my dad is sometimes referred to the godfather of power washing. He saw the opportunity with powerwash.com, so he grabbed several domains. And back then, a domain was about $250 to $300 to $400. It was in that range, and that was at 1996 prices.
Wow.
So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Now you get
they don't cost anything today. I mean, they're so cheap. But he saw the opportunity and grabbed them. He even grabbed my website that I have for Steamaway, and so he had a lot of foresight, and I'm appreciative of that.
Oh, you got a great father back there that taught you a lot of good things to be successful in this industry. And real quick, so you got the CEO for powerwash.com, and then you said that for the your hood cleaning, you hired one, a GM.
Well, I had a hood clean for I had one there already, but I hired one for the truck washing.
Truck washing.
Yeah. That's my original business that I started as a contract cleaner in back in 1985.
Wow. Woo.
Yeah.
You were what, 5 years old then?
Yeah, right. I was 18. I was 18 when I started. I was still in high school.
Very cool.
So,
Well, you've been in this for a hot minute. You know all the tips and tricks then.
yeah, yeah. It's it's kind of funny sometimes that I'll post that or someone will ask that and I'll say and they'll say, "Golly, you've been in business long before I was even born."
Yep.
I'm like, "Thanks for making me feel old."
Eric Trice is looking. It looks like he wants to start a truck washing business. I don't know why. He wants to know is there any money in the truck washing business.
Yeah, right.
That man
You know,
has
Eric.
explosive growth. He's on fire. Good morning, Dave. How are you? Welcome, welcome, Mr. Collaborate. And so, do you ever bring the companies together for meetings or anything to collaborate on any ideas? Or
Okay, that's a good question. So we have regular meetings every Tuesday with all the management staff between the companies because there is some shared staff here. So we share the accounting and we share the HR and then me. So I'm the three people that go or one of those three that goes between. And then we have all the GMs or CEOs of the other divisions. And we meet once a week, review our numbers, our KPIs, and then we talk about things between the companies and we help solve each other's issues within the other divisions. And we talk about things on the property here so that there's good lines of communication so that truck or Steamaway isn't doing something that Facilitech doesn't know about, and then we end up getting in each other's way and creating issues there. And then obviously those companies buy a lot of product from PowerWest.com, so kind of keeping up with what's happening with supply chain and things of that nature. And then just overall the HR things that are changing and how hiring processes are changing and the kind of employees we're looking for and the new programs that we're bringing on. And I'll give a tip for anybody with a decent number of employees. If you want to help your guys be more successful financially and learn how to manage their money better, take a look at Smart Dollar from Dave Ramsey. Yeah, Dave Ramsey's Smart Dollar program. It's actually quite affordable. I was surprised. So we just added that for our employees. So there's a little tip for anybody who has a group of employees and want to add more benefits. That's I think that's a really good one because a lot of people that we look for as employees don't really understand how to manage their money properly. And even some of us don't. So it may be good for even some of the owners out there and operators to get into a Dave Ramsey program.
yeah, absolutely. So that's a service that you pay for but offer to your team?
Exactly. Yeah. I didn't mean to digress off the topic too much, but
no. I think that's powerful because we want to bring as much value to our team as we can. And, for us, we always look to make sure that they're growing personally and professionally. And part of that personally would be able to understand that financial management too and help them reach their goals, whether it's buying a house, a car, going on vacation, whatever it may be, pay off debt. So, whether you support Dave Ramsey or not, I think some of his programs are phenomenal. And it's a good tool, resource for your team to be able to be more successful financially.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then, of course, with the accounting side of it, it's, AR and accounts payable is consolidated. We've got just one or two people that manages all that for all the companies. So we're able to take advantage of some of the size and hiring some staff that manages all that stuff internally behind the scenes. So
very cool.
Yeah.
And then real quick, going back to powerwash.com, you guys, I'm sure this is your busy season right now. Everybody's ramping up and getting ready for the spring rush and summer. So
yeah, it's a little bit slow to start this year, but things are really are starting to get pretty good now.
Yeah, I think that's I've seen that and heard that across the industry right now. And I don't know if it's this crazy weather we've been having because I'm just out west in Vegas and Moab and everything everybody said out there was like, this is unusually cold for us right now. And then today, I think today we're getting up to 60, but this morning again it was 40. So hopefully we're up on the weather here to keep everybody out and seeing their houses and understanding they need to be cleaned right now. So it
Yeah.
should be really starting to kick off soon.
I think a little bit of seeing some of this is that the consumer side, depending on your customer base, is a little more hit by the economy too. So they may not be as aggressive at getting their house washes and their driveways cleaned as they have been in the past couple of years, and fear for the recession to get worse too. So that, I think that might have a little bit of an impact on it as well.
Yeah, it might, but that like smart business, we just keep our head down, keep grinding, and
That's what
sometimes
you
we
have
got
to do.
to pivot. Yeah, we got to pivot, maybe do a little bit different type of marketing, whatever it may be. But
Yep.
the successful companies that are out there doing this for years over years, they know that it's ebb and flow with the market. It's up and down, up and down. So we just got to keep grinding and adjust as needed. So. Well, sweet,
Yep.
man. I appreciate you. Joe Devenel said I need to get a cardboard cutout now because
I got it.
there you go. There
I'm
you
still
go.
using the water bottle.
I love it. I love it, man. I love so you got Brandon there. I've got Dave Carroll's Dope Marketing. It's my favorite hoodie out there. He's not an official sponsor of the JC Live, but we might be able to make that happen. And I got another new hat from a local veteran company, Brett Myers with Anchor Roofing Fencing. So I love being able to support local companies and also represent other brands within the industry. So you're always up in our office on the cardboard cutout, and it's
Yeah.
a pleasure seeing you in our office every day, even though you don't say much.
Yeah. I'm always watching.
Well, thank you, Michael. You got any departing words?
Um, I thought about this yesterday, and this is for, because I'm going to assume most people that are watching this are leaders, and I shared this with my management team last week in our management meeting. I always bring a helpful tip or something, and I think this is a good one. But I saw this quote where it said, when you're sharing emotion as a leader, it's like bleeding next to a shark. And it really hit me because it makes a lot of sense, but you got to take that in context, as in, if you show the wrong emotion, if you're showing anger and the negative resentment or frustration, your employees are going to feed off of that, and it's going to lead your team in the wrong direction. But if you're more of a cheerleader and a promoter and encouraging, then you're going to find a better respect and team atmosphere with your team. So if you're bleeding and you're getting attacked by the sharks, that's the negative energy that you're putting out. But if you're chumming trying to catch the sharks, then that's the positive energy that you're putting out. So
I love that.
I just want to share that. I thought it was a great analogy, and it really stuck in my head that it's emotions are like bleeding next to a shark. So wow, that's very true. And it depends on what you want to accomplish, though.
No, I love that. That's part of my talk that I give on leadership and culture is that it's got to be consistent 24/7, and you can't come in the office on when you had a bad day and take it out at the office. It's check your emotions at the door and stay focused and stay consistent, because you don't want them guessing what type of mood is he in. Can I approach him today? So it's real important to keep those emotions checked. That's a really good message to end this call with. So I appreciate you so much. Thanks for being my first guest.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I hope to see you very soon. And for everybody that's out there watching, thank you. For everybody who commented below, appreciate you. We're doing this every day, Monday through Friday, 10:30 to 11-ish, somewhere around there. And then the weekend is just kind of when we get to it. So thank you, and I will talk to everybody later. Take care, Michael.
All right. Take care. Appreciate it, JC.